That's a good question, Fire. So it really depends. I've done lots of different things. So sometimes the group will just take a break. Other times we'll run like uh like nothing's different. Other times I'll have an idea to sort of, pull them out of the story, the narrative at that point in time. And sometimes if I'm feeling really on my game, I'll put together a one shot that's just for the players that are there. So it really just depends. Like the worst thing that I do is when people aren't around, call games. It's a bad habit and I don't like doing it. But at the same time, my groups aren't really big anyway, and especially with my group that's sort of in the run up to the end of the campaign, it's tough for folks to miss it. So I run a couple games a week, which means that very seldom am I not running at least one game during the week, even if scheduling conflicts and stuff come up. So at least I'm always in some sort of game. But that's probably still my biggest D&D vice that I'm not proud of, is that if people can't make it, a lot of times we'll just skip a week. But we also play weekly, which I think matters. Some folks will play every couple weeks, and then missing a game is a really big deal. In our case, never, usually more than a week away. In a group you're in, one of the other players can only play every other weekend. How do we feel about this? So I'm assuming that you mean that like it's a weekly game, but they're missing every other game. I mean, if that's what you mean, I personally wouldn't want to run a game for somebody that was going to be gone half the time. But I can understand that. I mean, it's between the table and one another. It's up to the DM. It's up to everybody there if that works for them. And I think if that works for the group, that's awesome. Personally, I don't think I'd be able to handle that. I think that would bother me. How many encounters per level? So I do milestone leveling. It's hard to say precisely, but generally speaking, I aim to create adventure arcs that will scale up as the game goes on. So early on, it is probably a 2 or 3 session adventure that's going to take them from, say, level 2 to level 3. And then their next sort of adventure might be 2 small 2-session each adventures, like maybe traveling on the road, dealing with some bandits, and then whatever sort of quest that they're going on, and then getting back home. So that may take more like 3 or 4 sessions, and that'll get them up another level. So I don't think about it necessarily as number of encounters. I think about it as the adventure that takes them from one to the next. They hit a milestone of some sort, and it both progresses the story and levels them up at the same time. So right now they're going through this sort of like mega dungeon, and they're like 13th, 14th level. So it's a dungeon sort of at the tail. There were some sessions leading up to it, and they've been kind of digging their way through this fractal dungeon, and it's been weeks of them going through it. But as soon as they exit, they level up, right? That's the milestone, is that they conquered one of these like 3 big mega dungeons. Not mega dungeons, one of these 3 big important places in my in the region that they're in. That's how I think about it. So I don't really break it down into like number of encounters necessarily. And I do have a video about milestone leveling on my channel. Maybe I'll create a link for it here.